On Thursday morning, I backed the University of Guyana compound where a monument was built in memory of the 11 Guyanese who died in the Cubana Flight 455 air disaster on October 6, 1976. Members of the coalition government, parliament, the diplomatic corps, mayor of the city of Georgetown, head of the discipline services, vice chancellor of the University of Guyana, and relatives of the victims of the Cubana air disaster came together to remember their loved ones who lost their lives 40 years ago. There was also a wreath-laying ceremony and prayers by the three major religions in Guyana. Cuban ambassador to Guyana, Julio Gonzalez Marchante, said the culprits who committed the act are still enjoying immunity in the United States of America.
Cuba rejects double standard and unilateral action contrary to the Charter of the United Nations and to the principle and norms of international law. May serve this commemoration to reaffirm the unbreakable will of Cuba to fight terrorism, its deeper rejection and condemnation of all acts, methods, and practice of terrorism in all its forms and manifestations by whomever, against whoever, and wherever they are committed, whatever their motivations are, including those which state are directly or indirectly involved.
Ambassador Marchante said the lives of those died in Cubana Flight 455 will forever remain in their hearts and minds.
We cannot say that the pain is shared. The pain is multiplied. Millions of Cubans today mourn along the beloved one of the victim of the abominable crime. And when an energetic and virile people cries, on justice trembles. And this legacy is a beacon and guidance because we are certain that in this fight against terrorism, we will win.
President David Granger, in his remarks, said the terrorists who committed the act had dragged the Caribbean into a fight that they never asked for and called for those who committed the act to be brought to justice.
The heads of state and government of the Caribbean community in Cuba at the second CARICOM Cuba Summit in Barbados on December 9, 2005, urged the government of the United States of America to consider favorably the request for extradition of the suspect to Venezuela in order to ensure that he is brought to justice on charges of terrorism in accordance with states' obligations on international law and their own national legislation.
All 73 passengers and 5 crew members aboard the plane was assassinated. 57 Cubans, 11 Guyanese, and 5 North Koreans. Among the dead were all 24 members of the 1975 Olympic youth fencing team, many of whom were teenagers. The young athletes had just won all gold medals in the Central American and Caribbean Championship Games, as well as several sport officials of the Cuban government. They had proudly worn their gold medals on board the aircraft. Andrew Wicks reporting for Safe TV2 Headline News.